when someone passes away, most of the time there are hundreds of decisions that have to be made. So anything from picking a casket, picking an urn, writing an obituary notice, finding out where military discharge paperwork is, calling the church, calling the cemetery. There are hundreds of decisions that have to be made. And for families dealing with grief, as you can imagine, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of emotion involved. And at the time of death, families are often struggling to make those decisions because they're in more or less a fog or a cloud of grief. So they aren't always making the most clear-headed decisions at that time. A lot of times they're emotional decisions. The children, for instance, will have no clue what mom or dad wanted, and it becomes additional stress on them when they're trying to guess at what mom and dad would want. It's also important in terms of finances because a lot of times there is a big financial burden left on a family when it comes to paying for funeral expenses. So if, mom or dad can pay for those things ahead of time, it offers a little bit of comfort to the family that way as well. The biggest portion of the expense oftentimes are the service fees, the merchandise, the things the funeral home does. So we can offer a price guarantee on those items for most families.
That allows the surviving family members a chance to be able to free up time so that they're not here at the funeral making plans. They're able to be greeting out-of-town guests that may be coming to town. Would have an option to start to put pictures together, start to share stories and remember their loved one.
I have never once had a family come back and tell me they wish it hadn't been planned ahead. When their loved one has come in and planned it ahead of time, at the time of need, it always winds up being more helpful to the family. So yes, it's very important, and just helping the family out where they're able to focus on things that are more important to them in terms of getting better with their grief, spending time as a family. The less they have to worry about in terms of the planning aspect and the payment aspect, the more they're able to focus on their own health and their grief care.